Hello, welcome to this Crypto Professor introduction to the cryptocurrency Energi. Energi is an ERC20 token. It is start as a fork of Bitcoin via Dash, but now is fully migrated onto the Ethereum blockchain as an Ethereum token. So what does this actually mean? Well, you can actually operate Energi using the Ethereum blockchain, and it functions through the Ethereum blockchain. Okay. Now, what does Ethereum actually do? Well, if you ask me, it boils down basically to a competitor for Ethereum. Okay, now I don't mean that in terms of they don't like Ethereum or the Ethereum project. They are obviously on the Ethereum blockchain, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to get over some of the issues that are facing Ethereum at the moment, i.e. high fees and clogging of the network, basically. Okay. So effectively, Energi can do pretty much all that Ethereum can do and more. Okay, and there are several key concepts which I feel are very appropriate to bear in mind if you're thinking of investing in Energi. The first is that you're able to write Ethereum compatible smart contracts and run them through Energi. Okay, now this has various advantages. Perhaps there's a quicker response time. The block time for Energi is around about the same time as Ethereum. Then you have obviously a lot fewer people trying to use the Energi network at the moment, as obviously Ethereum is the dominant cryptocurrency smart contract out there. So there is a level of competition there at the moment because Energi has less adoption, but then obviously it is less secure in terms of its viability as a long-term project because it doesn't have the same amount or number of projects running on it at present. Okay, so this is a long-term purchase or a long-term investment that you'd be looking to do if you were looking to own Energi. There is on-chain governance, so you can vote for various things to happen on the project, and there is a real ethos of DeFi about the Energi cryptocurrency right from the get-go. Okay, so even though there are a team of people behind the cryptocurrency project, investors are able to have a level of say in what happens to the cryptocurrency project via voting. Crucially, for this particular cryptocurrency, there is a self-funding treasury. Now, 40% of new Energi that are created every single month get put into that treasury. Okay, so this is one of the largest treasury systems in cryptocurrency, and it enables to do various projects that I will discuss at a later stage in this video. There is then a layer 2 Masternode system and network, which allows anyone to help contribute to the network and also help run it. And actually, it's one of the largest and most profitable Masternode systems that there is in cryptocurrency at the moment. Okay, and I will demonstrate a little bit later how to actually set up a Masternode using 1,000 Energi. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about those 4 pillars. So they are smart contracts, governance, treasury, and Masternodes. Now, these are not unique, but they are unique to one cryptocurrency project. Okay, and together they make a very, very powerful dynamic. And there are numerous videos on the website that you can have a look at and watch various videos to do. Okay, so block time 1 minute. It is a proof of stake consensus mechanism. There is a Masternode requirement of 1,000 NRG, and I'll show you how to look at that later. And then the breakdown of new coins being mined is 10% to stakers, 10% to the management, basically, 40% to Masternodes, and 40% to the treasury. So 40% of every single coin, or every single month, the number of coins that are minted, which is around 1 million coins a month, go to Masternode holders. Okay. So who is behind this Energi project? Well, there are now 60 plus people involved in developing the Energi project, and they have been brought about over the last few years, ever since Energi was first started. It was started by a gentleman by the name of Tommy World Power, who actually maintains quite a significant presence on YouTube, actually started helping people set up their cryptocurrency operations and giving them a bit of guidance on YouTube, and then decided to start his own cryptocurrency project, and that became this. Now, Tommy does have a LinkedIn page, Tommy R, and it's nice to be able to put a name to a cryptocurrency face in this day and age where a lot of projects are very anonymous. I can see that Tommy is keeping somewhat anonymous by using only his first initial, and generally goes around the Tommy World Power name if you want to look him up. Okay, so there is a significant person of development who does have a very strong interest in cryptocurrency and does have a track record of implementing projects. He started in November 2013 on YouTube. Before that, had a consultant background. Okay, Energy's been going since 2017, July 2017, so it is a relatively long-term project. In terms of tokenomics, this might surprise you, but it's actually one of the projects that I'm supporting that have no hard cap. Okay, usually when I describe these type of things, I like to know how many cryptocurrency units there are going to be to help my calculations with investments. But this is actually a project that I'm relatively okay with just knowing that they're going to be increasing forever. That's the mantra behind the Energi cryptocurrency, is they will continue to have new coins minted continually. Now, we know what happens, or most of you will probably know what happens if you continue to print more new coins or new tokens or new currency. We have inflation, okay? Now, am I too worried about that at the moment? No, with a circulating supply of just under, 40 million at the moment, if we compare it to another cryptocurrency that doesn't actually have a finite cap at the moment, and you'd be surprised to know, some of you, that is Ethereum, currently around about $1,300. That's got 114, almost 115 million, and technically at the moment still has an infinite amount of space to create new ether. Okay, so in terms of that, we're currently around about a third, roughly, of the total supply of Ethereum, and therefore at $2.06 at the current price, the price does have a lot of room to grow. Okay, now the market cap is around about $75 million, so it's a mid-range market cap, currently just under 200th in the world in terms of cryptocurrency adoption, and a trading volume of $3.3 million. Now the all-time high is not particularly impressive. It's $10.19, and it was achieved in 2019. Okay, personally, I think that is a little below par. I think that there is more potential to see a new all-time high reached some point between 2021 and 2022, and an all-time low of 25 cents back in September 2018. Okay, so there was no ICO. Okay, there was no funding of this project from the start. It was literally just finding people to run the masternodes and growing the project organically, which is another thing that I really like about the project. So, masternodes, how do you run them? Okay, one of the big attractions, and one of the big attractions that drew me towards this particular project, is the ability to stake energy and get a really, really high return. Okay, what kind of return are we talking about? Well, you get around about 0.92 energy per day. So at the moment, you're getting around $1.85 per day, which totals around $675 a year. So if you work that out in terms of percentage, you're getting 33.64 return. Now, that is quite high in terms of a Masternode return. And in fact, it's one of the highest in a project that has been around since 2017. Now, there are various ways to increase that a little bit higher that I would demonstrate towards the end of this video using another cryptocurrency service. But for the moment, setting up a Masternode with 1,000 would yield you $676 per year, or around about 336 NRG. So theoretically, in 3 years, you could have a second Masternode doing the same thing. Okay, and that seems to be the consensus of individual holders, is to grow their energy and allow them to own more of the total market. Okay, there is a real feel that Energi could actually really, really take off and be a significant competitor to Ethereum in the long run. Okay, now as I say, this time frame may be 3 to 5 years out. Okay, but we are starting to see Ethereum get to the theoretical limits of its design. Yes, there are other systems coming into play. Yes, there are other secondary systems which are enabling faster and less costly transactions. But in terms of growing the market into a world dominating cryptocurrency ecosystem, there can't just be one default platform. Okay, you do have multiple companies, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, etc., in one particular space. At the moment, the cryptocurrency behemoth for smart contracts is Ethereum. This could be a worthy contender to take up that second or even potentially underdog first place. Again, a time frame of 3 to 5 years, possibly up to a decade. Okay. So, how do we go about getting this masternode? Well, first of all, you have to buy a minimum of 1,000 Energi. Okay, and that can happen in numerous ways. You could go to various exchanges, and if I just go back to here and look at the markets, you can see that it's traded on numerous markets. Personally, I use KuCoin just because I've used them for a lot of other projects, but you could use DigiFinex or you could use HitBTC. All four of these top options, I should say, 3 exchanges I would utilize, and Uniswap if you also want to do it in a decentralized manner. Okay, just be aware of the fees there, and also the pricing does tend to fluctuate to quite a broad degree. The main volume coming from HitBTC and DigiFinex. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. Okay, if you want to purchase 5,000 plus Energi and you want to have a really big masternode, then I would recommend going direct to the Energi team and buying OTC or over the counter, which they do offer for investors who want to buy significant amounts of energy. Okay, so let me just talk a little bit about what Energi does. So it's one of the actual only cryptocurrencies that I know that has a genuine project which is funded by the cryptocurrency to change the world. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, they're actually a self-funding platform for conservation and mental health awareness. Okay, so they actually fund podcasts and programs to improve mental health. And if you know anything about me, I'm also a qualified psychotherapist, so that's quite up my street in terms of wanting to empower people to look after themselves better. And they also run projects like beach cleaning around the world, and you can read more about that on the actual website. So they do rubbish cleanups around the world in places like Bali and Thailand, and getting rid of plastic and things like that. So in terms of an ecological impact, they are really on the forefront of that, and it's quite a strong message that comes through. This actually wasn't so prominent when I made my investment. The mantra that they have on their homepage, which if I just go back to, for cryptocurrency for world consciousness, that was there. Okay, so there was always kind of this theme of wanting to help the planet and wanting to help people invest in something that was going to be perhaps greener than some other cryptocurrency projects or even cryptocurrency in itself. But now they're actually starting to flesh out the real kind of benefits of that. There's also a cryptocurrency exchange which is going to use Energi as its default token. Okay, and they claim to be able to do that with no fees at all. Okay, so if you're looking for an alternative to the many different types of exchanges that exist at the moment and want to do it effectively for free using Energi, then keep an eye out for this. It's not technically launched yet, but when it does launch, no doubt the price will respond positively. There's also an Energi defense, which is funded by the Treasury, okay, which is where they talk about security in crypto, okay, and notice there's a reference to DeFi there, okay. They also have a infrastructure system whereby they have an active security network, which is constantly looking out for threats and that type of thing. So, as I say, more of an ecosystem than just a particular cryptocurrency, and there's lots of things to read and lots of things to look at and additional resources on the website. So if you're interested, I would definitely check out some of these and have a bit more of a read around. But the project overall is about bringing a better, higher quality Ethereum project to the table, or smart contract table to the table, and doing it in a way that is positive for the world and positive for humans who use it. Okay, so How do we actually get a masternode? Well, I actually use a service called Allnodes for mine, okay, and I've been using Allnodes now for around about, well, over 12 months in fact. And they do provide instructions on how to set it up, okay. So effectively what you do is you buy your 1,000 energy and then you stake it in your own private wallet, okay. So you store it on your own system, okay, but you provide the details, the collateral basically, to Allnodes, and then they run the computer or the server on your behalf, okay. So this is mine. So my collateral is at this address here, which I'm not going to hover over so no one can see it. Your collateral is 1,000, okay. I've earned so far since I last withdrew, which is around about a week ago, 6-7 days ago, I've earned 6.46 energy, and the total value is $2,000 or so, okay. Since I started around about 7 or 8 months ago, I've earned almost 175 energy, or $350, okay. And note the price has actually fluctuated by some degree. I bought the majority of mine around the $2.50 region, and it corrected down to around about the $1 to $1.30 region, and then moved up back up towards where it is now. But I'll be doing a little more analysis towards the end of this video on when I think it would be an idea to start to buy some energy over the course of the next few weeks or so, okay. You top up your account using dollars, and then effectively what you're able to do, and if I just show you here, I'm running a number of nodes on here, you pay $54 for the year, okay. So it would take you around about the first month to break even, okay, and then the rest of it you are literally just accruing energy. And I'm also running a number of other nodes on here, Syscoin namely, and Zen or Horizon, okay, which I will talk about in separate videos, okay. So if I go to the actual wallet, and let's just have a look. So this is my actual wallet. If I refresh that, okay, I know that I've got 6.46. What I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to send these 6.46 over to my KuCoin account, okay. So you can actually see an actual withdrawal. So if I go to my recent transactions, I did this a couple of days ago. I'm going to send it here. Let's just have a look and paste. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send 6, but I'm going to do it with the lowest fee, okay, just because it does take 5,000 confirmations to actually get it on the exchange, which is a security feature of Energi, okay. So it does take around 3.5 days to get the withdrawal turned up. So there's no point in doing a fast transaction for this, because it is going to take, you know, 3.5 to 4 days to actually show up. I'm going to select everything, that's all fine, click send, transaction fee, very, very cheap, okay, hardly anything at all, and I'm going to click send. So that is now sent, okay. It may take 3 hours to confirm on the network, but I'm hoping, but towards the end of this video, I'll actually be able to show you it show up on my KuCoin account, okay. So this is the actual wallet itself. This is a download. You actually download this onto your computer, okay, and you can store this on your accounts, okay. So all your Masternode earnings get paid into this wallet, and as you can see now it's gone, okay. So I've only got 0.46 in here now, and every day I accrue 0.92 energy into this wallet. Now you might ask, where is my 1,000? Okay, now that is actually on the Energi Nexus. So Energi Nexus is the interactive portal where you're able to interact basically with the Energi network, and there's obviously numerous things you can do. This is the Energi wallet I just showed you, okay, so that's where you download it. The Masternodes I'm going to go into in a moment. You can stake, but you only get around about an 18% return on that, okay, so it's not as profitable as having a Masternode. There's a reward calculator for you to actually work out how much rewards you're going to get. There's a migration, so when Energi switched from a Bitcoin effectively but Dash based blockchain to an Ethereum one, they migrated their tokens over, okay, and a treasury budget. So basically you can have a look at the treasury budget, and it's all open source for you to examine at your leisure. I'm going to go into the Masternodes just to show you, okay. So there are 1,439 Masternodes, 16.13 million energy, okay, and total collateral of just over 16 million energy, okay. So if I go to my collateral, theoretically I could put my owner's address in here, and I could withdraw my collateral if I wanted to. Okay, there are instructions on Medium, okay, of how to do this, but also all nodes will guide you through the process of how to do it, okay, if you wanted to put that on. It's fairly straightforward to actually do. It took me around about 4 or 5 hours to get everything set up. Okay, I would definitely recommend doing it via all nodes if you're not particularly computer literate, rather than using your own private server, which is also another option. So you could set up an Ubuntu server or a Linux server and do it that way around on a service like Amazon Web Services or Google Compute, or another one of those, Linode, or another one of those institutional accounts. Okay, once it's set up, you will continue to earn 1 energy per day for as long as it's in service. Okay, and that energy will be distributed to you on a regular time frame across the life of the Masternode. Okay, great. So let's have a look and see if it has turned up in my account. Let's go to deposit and withdrawal history. So far we haven't had anything. Let me just refresh. So it did say it could take up to 3 hours to actually show up on the account. Okay, so far nothing. Okay, so I'm going to look at the analysis to start with, and then I'll check back a little bit later to see whether anything has actually shown up. So we're at an interesting crossroads, technically speaking, for Energi. Okay, it has broken out of long-term resistance, this line here, around $1.75. It's been underneath that consistently since around about September last year. And if we go back a little bit further, we see it did break out to the upside, but then it went all the way basically up to $10 and has been correcting down ever since. Okay, so it has bottomed out here. You'll notice this black line. This black line is what I believe to be the actual Masternode holders. Okay, so this is the total number of holders, slowly increasing, as you can see, but very, very gradually, very, very slowly. Okay, almost imperceptibly over the course of 6 months or so. Okay, so that theoretically is the all-time bottom for Energi, or where I believe the all-time bottom to be. Okay, so around here is where we are presently. Okay, we did have a spike, but that was just on this exchange. I'm using BTC here. Okay, so this spike happened recently, and now we're in a descending wedge with a very strong positive bullish impulse. Okay, personally, if we zoom in on this, I think that we're going to oscillate around this region for a little while before breaking a little bit higher. Okay, and I'm going to base that on my Bitcoin analysis, which I'll do in a moment. Okay, so this is actually where we are presently, around about the $2 region. Okay, and we're pushing higher. Okay, notice that we can correct all the way down to around $1.75 at the moment, and then this intersection here is where it gets really interesting. Notice that every single time we do hit this line, we have a very positive movement up. Okay, so I would expect this to actually not be as strong as this blue line here. So I'm expecting this to ultimately break through over the course of the next couple of weeks. Okay, so let's look a little bit more in depth at the averages and what's going on here. Okay, if you're looking to buy, so we're currently oscillating around about the 21-day EMA. Okay, so we bounced off that a couple of times. We theoretically could drop to the 35, the 55, or even the 81. I doubt we'll drop as far as the 200, and that's at $1.60. Okay, but we could definitely drop down to where conveniently the 81-day EMA is at $1.75 right now. Okay, I'm not rushing into this trade. Okay, if I wanted to buy some energy, I think you've got some time. Both the MACD, okay, and the RSI on this time frame are actually indicating that there is more likely to be a drop than a rally. Okay, similarly on a day chart here, once again we're at 60. That's not massively conclusive, but it's enough to hold your horses basically and look for a good entry. Personally, I would look to enter anywhere between, and I've isolated it on here, anywhere between $2.11 and $1.51. Okay, with a kind of oscillation towards $1.86. Okay, so anywhere within those kind of 60-cent region is where I would look to place limit orders if I was looking to buy a large number of energy. Okay, what's my profit target? Well, short term 2021 I suppose would be $3.71. okay, longer term if we're looking for a larger breakout, $4.44. okay, so that's where I expect the price to actually start to move towards over the course of 2021 if we did see a break of this line and then a break higher than $2.50, which is the next area of significant resistance. Okay, but remember, you're not really buying it for the growth of the price, you're buying it for the Masternode rewards because you're getting both the best of both worlds ideally. Okay, so ultimately you're getting 33% on top of what you're actually buying on the volatility. Okay, now I mentioned against BTC, you'll notice that we're nicely in a trend channel here. Okay, this started a couple of days ago. Okay, on the 5th of January technically, and then we had our first bounce off of the lower on the 15th of Jan, and now against Bitcoin we're actually climbing, and if you notice we're fanning out in terms of the averages. Okay, so this is a 4-hour chart. On a day chart things are not as conducive yet. Okay, we're still very much turning round. Okay, but that is quite a dramatic turn. Okay, notice the RSI is also giving us a short-term drop potential. But if we look on a 4-hour, we're actually, those buy levels that I suggested are actually supported again by these averages. Okay, so we've got around about 6,000 Satoshi, 5.8, and then 5.6. Okay, so if you're looking to trade it against Bitcoin, perhaps you're looking to get out of Bitcoin into something that's going to make another huge return in a short space of time, then I would recommend buying at those aforementioned levels, or at least when this corrects back down to its bottom trend channel. Okay, so that's another reason why I think that either, you know, it could be the fact that Bitcoin drops, which is something I'm looking out for, and it's at $30,000 at the moment. If it breaks $30,000 with conviction, we could see it drop to around $20,000 relatively easily. Okay, and obviously that would push the price up anyway. Okay, so it would necessarily be that energy is climbing in value here. It may just be that Bitcoin is getting cheaper in dollar terms. Okay, excellent. Let's check the exchange again and see whether my assets have turned up. Yes, fantastic. Okay, so let's view the transaction. Here we go. So far there have been 8 block confirmations, and as I said, there's going to have to be 5,000 before I can actually do anything with this cryptocurrency, so that would take around 3.5 days. Okay, but as you saw, that transaction took around about 40 seconds or so once it was confirmed by the network, and now I've just got to wait for those block confirmations to complete. And just to give you an idea, there's about 1 a minute, so there we go, we just had a 9th happen. Okay, now this will stop at some point in the future. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to go on for, but I just find that periodically withdrawing my energy once I accrue around 6 to 10 is a good way of doing it, and obviously the fees are minimal for doing this, so that helps. Okay, once it is over on your KuCoin account, you can actually stake it, okay, and get 5 to 7% per annum using their Pool X feature. So all you need to do, it's liquid. You just need to drop it in the account and then transfer it over to your Pool X account, and you will earn 5 to 7% on it as well. So not only can you earn 33% per annum on the Masternode, you can also earn 5 to 7% through this Pool X, and this is why I recommend using KuCoin as opposed to any other service. I haven't looked into any other service like HitBTC, but I believe KuCoin is the only project which actually offers you staking with Energi at a relatively attractive rate. Okay, so what you can do is you can pool your Energi, so transfer 10 at a time or whatever over the course of several weeks, and then either keep it and save up for your next Masternode of 1,000, or you can exchange it into another cryptocurrency as you see fit. So effectively you're buying crypto with crypto, but the crypto you're getting through your Masternode is effectively free. Excellent. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to Energi. If you have any questions, please feel free to paste them in the comments. I will take a look at them and answer them in due course. If you'd like me to look at any other cryptocurrency, or you have anything else you'd like me to take a look at, please also mention it in the comments and I'll get around to it in due course. But otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this video and happy trading. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to get $25 of CRO completely for free, please sign up to Crypto.com using our referral link in the description on this video. We also get $25 of CRO to keep this channel operating. The Crypto Professor likes feedback. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it. If you'd like more of the same, please don't forget to subscribe. Or if you have questions, please post them in the comments and I'll endeavour to answer them for you. Thanks for watching.